Nonlinear storytelling has been the hallmark of many highly acclaimed films. Pulp Fiction, Magnolia, and Mulholland Drive are a few notable examples. But the approach is typically seen in mystery or suspense films, and though those genres are cousins to horror, the nonlinear format is not usually associated with the world of the macabre. Zach Krieger did something very unique in taking this style of storytelling and bringing it to a new type of movie in his 2025 film, Weapons.
Welcome to Bedlam Movie Night, the podcast where we dissect, deconstruct, and exhume films from the depths of horror, action, sci-fi, and beyond. I'm Ben Marlowe, joined by John Anderson.
Hey.
And tonight, we're staring down the barrel of chaos and talking weapons. A fractured descent into an all-too-palatable suburban nightmare.
I mean, give it up for mystery thrillers in general. I mean, Psycho is another movie that I'd like to mention that came to mind when watching this movie, where it's like, starting out with one storyline and then midway through kind of resetting to another one that helps explain it.
And it accelerates throughout type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, this one obviously has a whole different edge to it.
I really liked, just out of the gates, I loved this movie.
Totally.
The recent horror movie kind of like landscape, there's a lot of hype in every movie that comes out recently, it seems. And there's almost like a template that they hit. And
absolutely.
I liked Longlegs and even Barbarian, which is this director's like first film. I kind of put in that category of like overhyped. I know a lot of people prefer Barbarian over this film, but I put it in that category, and this one is almost like as an exhausted horror movie fan, almost like given the recent renaissance, this was a breath of fresh air. Yeah,
totally. I also wanted to note that this film was produced by New Line Cinema, or I guess distributed by New Line Cinema. They also brought The Evil Dead to the scene.
Oh, nice.
Nightmare on Elm Street. All of the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings films. The original Blade movie with Wesley Snipes. I mean...
Well, they have quite the
it's a pretty
repertoire.
Cool pedigree. And it makes sense that this movie has fallen into that company's grasp.
Well, it lines up really well. I mean, even like the main actress...
Julia Garner.
Yeah, I mean, did you see Wolfman?
I did. She's kind of becoming like the new Scream Queen. I'm not saying that she's taking the place of Micah Monroe. That's the actress who starred in like It Follows. She was in The Guest.
Right.
She was in Longlegs. Like she's kind of become like
I really liked her as
she's
the
great.
Scream Girl, but
totally. But this Julia Garner's like kind of edging her way into that territory because she was in the most recent Wolfman movie. She was also, which by the way, the Wolfman was kind of a bore.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it shows like what a director can basically not do,
right,
when they have great source material and great actors.
Well,
like, it really speaks to the Wolfman director.
Yeah, Julia Garner was also in the Rosemary's Baby prequel, the Apartment 7A. Did you see that?
So that's blowing my mind right now because I am obsessed with Rosemary's Baby, and I like horror movies to the point where we've made this podcast.
She plays Mia Farrow's character, basically.
I must be slipping in my old age.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. But I love her. She carries the entire show of Ozark. And she's one of my favorite memes, that from Ozark. If you want to stop me, you're going to have to fucking kill me. That's her.
She's the whole thing. I mean, she's definitely the most tense and like scary character of that show.
I think she's British, right?
Actually, I don't know.
I think she's like very British.
We should know that, but we don't. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, we don't. But I remember seeing her like on a late night show, and they were just so impressed with how she could do the Southern accent at Ozark, and it was like mind blowing how she did transform that.
I mean, to go a step further from that, when Bradley Cooper did American Sniper. Like, he's as American as actors can get.
Yeah.
But he was asked in an interview after he did American Sniper, which is a great Clint Eastwood movie. Say what you will about Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
His movies, when he directs, they're good. They're solid
good.
films.
Despite what the point is, they're still good.
They're really like, and like he has a emphasis on story. Like there's interviews with Clint Eastwood, and he deliberately focuses on story and what the characters are meant to be doing. And so anyways, so yes, American Sniper stars Bradley Cooper as a Texas-born Navy SEAL. And it's a true story about this dude's whole career in the military as a sniper. Anyways, in interviews, Bradley Cooper's been asked what the hardest accent or form of speaking has been for him in his whole acting career, because he's done British, he's done different areas of America, and he's on record saying that learning how to speak in a Texas accent has been the hardest for him. So
I can
the
see
fact
it.
that Julia Garner's like being able to pull off her thing with Ozark is a big deal. Yeah,
she nails it too.
Totally.
You know, Jason Bateman can only do so much.
Yeah, he's a little bit of like, he's got his lane, and that's about all you can.
Yeah, and that was
expect
him
from him.
trying to be, what's his name from Breaking Bad?
Oh, shit. I'm going to...
Now, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, the Ozark was
just
funny.
Like the straight guy that's like involved in some nefarious shit.
The only difference for me in Ozark and Breaking Bad was like the wife and the husband were in it together, right?
Which I liked about Ozark. I was like, hell yeah.
Me too. I mean,
great.
Easy sell, yeah.
So I want to circle back to the director, Zach Krieger. Blew everybody away with Barbarian, and his style of like non-linear storytelling, he develops further with this film. Like he interrupts like the original narrative to bring you a new storyline that explains the one we started out on, but through the eyes of another character. But applying it to this particular genre, I mean, it keeps everything like more and more heightened and harder for me to predict what's going on. Because like after watching as many horror movies as we've watched, like I can kind of like gather like, okay, yeah, this and that, you know, at a certain minute mark in the movie. This one though, like similar to Hereditary, like I didn't fucking know until very late in the movie.
It's a hard thing to do.
Totally.
And he broke it apart really brilliantly. And I feel like he recognized kind of like what we're talking about with like the problems with this horror renaissance that we're experiencing. And
the horror renaissance.
But like one moment that I really like appreciated that kind of like, since we've been watching so many of these, when the Marcus is possessed and he's running at them when she's being confronted by Josh Brolin. I like, there's a part of me that like had the Hereditary mind state where I was like, that's just a hallucination, you know?
Oh, interesting.
Classic, like the main character is hallucinating everywhere. And the fact that it was just so real, I really enjoyed about this movie.
He nailed it.
Yeah.
I heard though, so, you know, I'm not trying to throw shade on him, but I heard that his next movie is going to be based on the Resident Evil franchise, which I'm a little weary of. Like, I'm going to go see it, and I'm stoked because so far I like what he's been doing. But I'm also questioning, like, is he going to go the route of Robert Eggers and like so many other cool directors who just become studio yes men?
Hopefully not. I mean, the fact that he like is kind of
he going to marry Mila Jovovich?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's kind of commenting on it a little bit because like he like upends what's happening currently in horror, which is hallucinate. I mean, he does play into the trope, which is way over the top ending, but I don't know. And there's also the trope, which I think is just a problem with all horror movies, which is any woman over 40 who is single is automatically a witch.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's one of the big influences of this movie is like Hereditary, among other films like Magnolia and obviously Pulp Fiction, like I mentioned earlier.
Right.
But you can see those elements really clear, especially with Hereditary, like in the way that like you don't really know what's going on until very, very late in the movie. It's like, oh, then they show you what's happening, but until then, like, yeah, they're kind of like alluding to it, and they show you in these really creative ways that when you watch it a second time, you're like, oh, it was there
totally
the whole time, like from the beginning of the movie. You told us what,
and the beats are like very
awesome.
well paced. I kind
I
of like
really dig it.
that
Yeah.
he like fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's all right. So another movie that I wanted to mention on the list of the director's influences was something I'd never heard of by Peter Weir. I can't pronounce it correctly. If I mispronounce it, forgive me. But it's an Australian film called Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Oh, I do.
Right?
I saw the second version of that. I think they did a remake.
Okay. The original was made in the 70s, and it's like basically it's the similar plot, which a group of school girls go missing during like a school outing at a picnic. I've never seen it. Apparently, it's considered really like important as a horror movie. But
It seemed like it when the remake, like you could tell there was like a bunch of pressure on it. I only saw it because I have a huge crush on Samara Weaving. You know her?
Okay. No.
She's in the new Hulu movie Eenie Meenie.
Oh, right. I've seen that
Ready or
movie.
Not.
Yeah.
She's like awesome in Ready or Not. Did you see that one?
Yes.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And the new Scream. But the remake was made by Michael Reimer, and the reason I also saw it, not just because of like Samara Weaving, was he made Into Deep with LL Cool J and Queen of the Damned with Aaliyah, and I really liked this.
Into Deep, the shark movie?
No, that's the Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, okay.
With also LL Cool J. But yes,
we're going way off chart
but
here.
I've tracked, like, for some reason in the 90s,
it.
Anytime a rapper was in a movie, I was front row.
Totally. So,
but also a couple other movies it references is like, there's a lot. I mean, obviously The Shining, which I actually have a direct quote from him, which I know you have moments that you want to point out for The Shining.
There's several not just The Shining in general, but Stephen King in particular is a big deal.
He's very like candid about it in his interviews. But we gotta say one reference is obviously Ferris Bueller's Day Off for the ending scene where she's running through all the houses and backyards.
Oh, absolutely! I didn't even put that together.
So Ferris Bueller-y.
Yeah, no, that's why it rang a bell. I couldn't put my fucking finger on it, but that's why.
It's so right out of that. And then when she gets ripped apart, I think that would be like a Day of the Dead nod when Captain Rhodes, the zombies pull him apart.
I mean, that type of stuff happens in a lot of...
It's pretty common getting ripped apart. But I think Day of the Dead, Captain Rhodes was the original. And I want to, like, I can't help but do this comparison. And this is probably just me once again. But did you ever see the South Park, the Spooky Fish episode?
No.
So Stan, it's like in the 90s, 98, one of the first like Halloween episodes, because they also do Halloween episodes like The Simpsons, but of course they South Park it. So Stan is being visited by his Aunt Flo, and Aunt Flo visits his mom once a month.
Wait, are you saying Weapons is based on South Park
let me tell you the plot of the South Park episode.
Shit.
Like, Aunt Flo comes to visit the mom once a month. There's literally a scene where Randy, the dad of Stan, and they're driving, and Stan's like, how long does Aunt Flo have to stay with us? And he's like, oh, I don't think it's too long, just like in this movie. And in the and in the episode, Aunt Flo gives Stan a goldfish, and the goldfish ends up killing a bunch of people, and then it's kind of like a Pet Cemetery spin. Yeah. And then also there's like this really good version of Cartman comes through a portal alternate dimension, and everyone doesn't trust him. I mean, I don't know. I think he's a South Park fan.
Okay, let's keep that in mind. I want to talk about Josh Brolin in this movie. I don't think the dude gets enough credit for his skills as an actor in general. Like, he's been around forever, but...
Well, the Avengers launched him.
He was before that. He was in No Country for Old Men.
That launched him, yeah.
Fucking nailed it.
Yeah. And the Goonies, yeah.
Also Dune. Goonies was when he was like 20 years old. But again, he's a little bit of a legend. The reason I bring that up for is to say that he gives major props to Zach Krieger.
Yeah, he does.
He tells it, in interviews, he's like, this dude is actually a really unique filmmaker, and that like Josh Brolin has the experience of however many decades he's been doing it. Also, like he comes from his father was in it. Like he's been in the business for a long time, and so is his family. But basically, he was saying that like when he walks onto a project, he can kind of tell based on how he interacts with the director or like what he knows about them, what to expect the movie to be. And that his work with this director totally took him by surprise, which is legendary considering his, history.
That means this director brought something that the Coen brothers didn't bring. And
exactly.
Like I have a little more on Josh Brolin because like he's kind of connected to Benedict Wong, and he played Marcus, and they're both in the Avengers. Also,
right. That Benedict Wong is like Doctor Strange's sidekick.
His name is Wong. Pretty easy right there.
Right.
Also, Julia Garner is in the new Fantastic Four, so there's all
I
that.
saw that, yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I
was like, oh my God, I can't believe we haven't talked about that. I have so many questions. But what I love is like, because Josh Brolin is like in Avengers, we know his voice. I like it's kind of funny that they thought when they hid him in the beginning, where we just saw his back until it was his story, then we realized it was Josh Brolin. It's like, no, we recognize his voice. We know that's Josh Brolin.
Yeah, you can't hide that. Another actor in this film I wanted to touch on was Amy Madigan as Aunt Gladys. She nailed it and definitely created a villain, which will show up at Halloween parties for literally the rest of our lives.
Right.
In another Stephen King tie-in, though, she starred in a film called The Dark Half, which was an adaptation of a Stephen King novel. It came out in 1990. It's a pretty decent and twisted Stephen King movie. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's pretty cool. It's about this kid who has like basically in the womb, he has a twin, which he like absorbs and basically comes out as one person, but the twin is still a part of him.
It's like another consciousness.
It's another consciousness that like as a kid, he has these like schizophrenic moments. So they do a surgery and there's like an eyeball in his brain, like signs of another human in him. So they like cut it out and bury this other
What was that
twin.
movie kind of came out, speaking of horror renaissance? Malignant, right? That was
Malignant
crazy.
is a riff on The Dark Half, 100%.
That's
because
a good one.
In The Dark Half, the version of the part of this kid that they excavate and then buried, they have a whole like formal thing of like, this person has died or whatever. This person like comes out of the grave and he's like the identical twin to the hero and like then just commits all these murders and everybody
even the
thinks it's
South
him.
Park episode is on fucking Pet Cemetery. That guy.
There's
really...
a lot to talk about. I mean, Stephen King shows up a lot in this movie. Another like big influence was Needful Things.
What's that?
Zach Krieger. So Needful Things was another Stephen King novel adaptation, but it only showed up as like a mini series on television. Actually, Ed Harris, who is married to Amy Madigan, who plays Aunt Gladys, Ed Harris is in...
Whoa, they're married?
Yeah, Ed Harris is her husband. Yeah. Anyways, Ed Harris shows up in the adaptation of Needful Things, which Zach Krieger watched as a kid and was heavily influenced by to write this movie because the focal point of Needful Things is like a small town getting turned upside down by mysterious, weird events.
Stephen King's favorite, yeah.
That's his whole thing.
Damn, that's good shit.
So this shit goes deep into horror folklore, which is probably why it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and whatever.
I mean, we'll talk about why, though, because it's so good. But I just knew her from Field of Dreams. And
honestly, Field of Dreams, if you change the music in Field of Dreams, it's a horror movie.
Well, I'm going to have to revisit Field of Dreams now. But they're doing a Gladys prequel, or at least it's in the talk. It's in the sphere.
I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't think we need that.
No, it'll probably ruin everything.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you. She was in Antlers. You ever see Antlers?
I did like Antlers.
I never saw Antlers. Is it good?
It's pretty. I mean, it's good.
Scott Cooper. I really like him because he did Hostiles.
Oh, that was cool.
That was him in Black Mass, which is
interesting.
Yeah. So you say Antlers is good? Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, it wasn't like we're not gonna, it's not gonna.
It's not gonna make
It's not a weapons thing, but
all
yeah.
All right.
One of the last things I wanted to touch on about the background of this movie was the music. So the director co-composed all the music alongside the duo of Ryan and Hayes Holiday. These two brothers have done something really cool with music composition in general. Like they don't have a lot of
Are they like a band prior or something?
So what they've done up until this point, their main thing has been sound design projects and like music installations. Wow. Where like their concept is to try to blur the line between performer and participant. So one of their big projects is an app, which they construct music through the app to be specific to a physical space. But the music can be altered and affected by where the listener travels. So as the participant explores the space that they're in, the music that they have in their ears via the app will change as well. This creates an interactive album where specific sound samples are triggered according to the user's GPS location on their phone, which the app reads. So each composition is totally unique, and what you hear depends on how you walk through a specific physical space. They've already done it because they're from, awesome. It's amazing. They've already done it because they're from Washington, D.C., and one of the ones that they have that's active is approaching the Washington Monument, the obelisk in the park. So when you're so many feet away, if you have the app active and it's in your ears, the GPS will trigger a certain set of sounds.
Oh my God!
And then you get this many feet closer, then you have another layer of sounds, and so on and so forth.
So sorry, I was so taken with that. How does that like bounce back to the movie? These are just his collaborators.
They composed the score for this film.
Like not just yeah. Whoa, that's crazy.
So these two brothers, along with the director, the three of them composed the score for this movie. So that's who's working on this film.
This fucking director.
Yeah, he's
when we get into the dungeon, he goes to museums because I got mad reference to fine art because you can tell. Yeah. So that must mean he's like part of like even like the most contemporary because that is like those app, just like I would be so fascinated to know. So
one of the brothers that's a part of that duo who created that interactive experience, they do a whole TED Talk about their concept.
What is his, we gotta...
Just look it up, TED Talk through Ryan Holiday, music exploration, whatever.
See, so it relates though, the fact that it's around the Washington Monument, we are going to have fun in the dungeon.
Okay, cool.
This is great stuff.
Just to touch on it one more time, the whole concept of that type of music throws back to something that Brian Eno created. And Brian Eno, legendary producer, he produced the U2 Joshua Tree album. He's worked with Peter Gabriel, Coldplay, you name them. Like Brian Eno has been around.
Ambiance.
Huge.
Yeah.
So one of Brian Eno's concepts that he created in the 90s was called generative music. And he actually created a software program that would at random choose samples and sounds that Eno had created and had saved in a bank of sounds. And basically the software would pick them at random to create a piece of music that was only meant to be heard once.
That specific experience.
And that's what the Holiday brothers have sort of like riffed on, I think. I mean, I know
no, you're not wrong. I mean,
right in that alley.
I swear to God, this director is like, he's in that world, and
so what is he going to do for Resident Evil? I'm like, this kind of stuff, I'm like, shit, where are we headed?
Well, it's interesting, like, I mean, a fucking guy like Wes Anderson, like, he reeks of, like, you live in Europe and you go to contemporary art shows.
He's also just become a caricature of him.
But, like, this guy, like, goes to contemporary art shows alongside a Wes Anderson.
Can Wes Anderson, please, for God's sake, make a slasher film? Can we see something?
No, there won't be that.
Can we ever get a rated R, like a horror, like a terrifying Wes Anderson
But, like,
movie?
the point is, like, this director of Weapons, he's participating in all that, and he's like, he's like absorbing it in the right way, And I have a couple references in the dungeon that like speak to this actually. So we get a little tie-in.
Let's get into the dungeon then.
Yeah, I mean, all I have to add is like it's good music observation. My literal only note I have on music is
You didn't go that deep.
like I did not go that deep when you know, Justine and like the cop meet at the bar.
Yeah.
The Dark End of the Street by Percy Sledge is playing, and that's about like infidelity. That's all I got compared to that. But yeah, incredible
Right.
good work there.
Oh, well, as far as pop music goes, the beginning song when the kids are running out of the homes, that's
Amazing.
called Beware of Darkness by George Harrison.
It's so
literally
good.
A song written about like stay away from the dark, don't go into the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the dungeon's gonna be. Honestly, this movie, like, I didn't think would be rich in the dungeon. I thought it was gonna kind of just be like a fun horror movie.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's fucking do it.
All right, let's talk about witchcraft first off. Aunt Gladys is up to some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Binding and parasite spells.
Totally.
And other films that they show up in. The hair on the thorns with the branch that she carries. Also, in Alex's classroom, they talk about parasites. And on the television at Marcus's home, before Gladys shows up, the television is playing a documentary about parasites. So that's like a common theme. And the black tree and the thorns, I was curious about the mythology that tree specifically is from. Mm-hmm. So there's a little resemblance to the blackthorn tree from Gaelic mythology, and that particular plant has occult ties, but the tree in the film doesn't really match exactly what the blackthorn tree is, but that's probably the closest like neighbor that it has that, you know, we can throw back to. Other stories, you know,
I tried to, yeah.
Yeah, it's there, but the other stories where witches feed on young energy or the spirit of young people in general to keep them alive, it's seen in so many. So like Hereditary has a similar plot idea.
Right.
But in that one, the demon actually needs a young body to host itself.
A male one too.
Exactly. Yeah. Hansel and Gretel is similar. The witch is literally eating the bodies of the young people. Mm-hmm. So I looked up a lot of different witch folklore. Mm-hmm. And the one most closely related to Gladys in this film is probably from Albanian folklore.
Nice.
And it's a witch called I'm not going to say it right, so forgive me, the Striga. Uh-huh. So basically the two main characteristics that they share, Gladys and this Albanian witch, they both appear as elderly women. They have a friendly presence in society. Right. Think about in this movie when Gladys talks to the teacher, talks to the detectives. Oh, yeah. She's like,
she's shining it.
Hello. Yeah, she's very on point. But they also feed on the life energy of children. So from all of the witch folklore that's out there, whether it be Hindu or African or South American, Gladys is likely most associated with this Albanian folklore of the witch. More or less a spiritual vampire.
I love that. I like that you're because I did my usual analysis of what I think Gladys is, but I didn't research actual
witch folklore.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot out there.
No, this is great. Yeah. So
I mean, you even think about Robert Eggers' Witch. The first scene is the witch
the best part,
eating a baby.
No, and that's why we love that, and that's what he's doing right here. But all right, let me begin kind of my idea with Gladys and kind of the concept of parasite, if that applies here.
Big time. I mean, it's throughout the movie. They reference parasites.
Right. Yeah. So I guess to summarize it as basic as it gets, Gladys to me, she represents a parasite. And there's even a part where they interview the director and he claims that he wrote this about taking care of his parents during them being alcoholics and how he had to the alcoholism was this parasite that entered this nice home. Right. But I think Gladys basically is the parasite that represents politicians, lawyers, bureaucrats, tech companies.
Oh, you're going hard on something.
Yeah, like it's like this whole movie is actually a critique of that. Like, and this is just the beginning. I always wait for the dungeon, but it's tech companies that are mining our value and our productivity just so they can have control. And if you think about like with her makeup, like she looks like a fucking clown. Does that not sound familia? Like going out there and going. No, I got more, John, here because like it goes on.
I know
like,
you do.
Like so. There's a very famous painting called "Girl with a Pearl Earring."
Okay.
Do you know that painting?
I can't say that I do.
It's a Vermeer painting. It's like Scarlett Johansson has a movie about it. It's very famous.
Right.
And so the painting itself is known for its mysterious subject, the masterful use of light, and the use of exotic costume elements, such as the turban and a large, possibly fake earring. That's like the appeal of this painting. Now, this painting was created during a time during the 17th century, and it's called a trony. And this genre of painting, it depicts characters or expressions rather than a specific person.
Okay.
So when in the Alex chapter, when he walks up to her, she turns over, and before she puts on the makeup, she's a direct nod to this painting. So what Gladys is doing here, it nods to why she does the heavy makeup, because it's her version of, painting her presentation to the world.
Right.
And so, like, the way she's a parasite is in the way that the director said, like alcoholism entering the family. But it's much larger than that. It's like the way this is a sweeping social commentary, this movie. Like sweeping. And I mean, it's actually crazy.
This movie or your interpretation?
No, I can't be alone on this. This is not subtle. It's not subtle. I mean, at one point she says, "I thought your parents would satiate me, but now I need the children." And what does she ask from Alex to go get? What does Alex get?
Their information.
He gets their artwork.
Right.
Their creativity, their soul. That's what she takes.
Right.
This is tech company to the max. And I mean, we got the cordyceps fungi with the ants and she's teaching about parasites in it, like it's all very clear. And these kids are being taught about parasites, but it's all being muted. And we'll get into it even more, but I don't think
we're going to get into it. I think we're in it.
We're in it. But like the point here is like Gladys represents the parasite that like infects suburban America.
Well, all I can really add to that is Aunt Gladys's makeup and like the shenanigans that she gets up to, like showing up in people's dreams when she's in the forest, like stalking James, the drug addict. All of that reminded me. Again, this is another Stephen King tie-in, but it reminded me of Tim Curry as It.
Totally.
Like where he popped, like he's just like, hello, waving at people.
It was with the children and everything.
Pretty badass. I mean,
he did it perfectly, subtle too.
The moment I saw those scenes, I was like, oh.
She appears with the drug dealer, and it's like half of her.
She's in the woods.
Actually, now that I think about it, like half of her, she kind of looks like the Black Tree a little bit right there.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching.
The other thing, so when Josh Brolin's chapter shows up, he figures out how to sort of track where the kids go.
Right.
But he uses a method of investigation or solving shit. It's called triangulation, where like he finds a point where they both
probably would have
intersected, and he figures out where they might have ended up, like a general area. So the imagery, though, of triangles shows up a lot in this movie.
Correlation.
Totally. It's like not only does he do that with the map, which is something that detectives do whenever they're trying to figure out where a murder suspect went based on their mobile phone GPS activity, where they you were here at this point, and then you were over here at this point in the night, and we can point it back to this.
I picked up that he was like ex-military because the way he talks about like it honed in on you like a missile.
Yeah,
like
they were weaponized.
And that's also a good point to that character.
So the imagery of a triangle shows up in the other way of like the shape and posture that the kids and Marcus make with their hands as they run away.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like, they basically look like an arrow, the way they have their hands held out when they
that
run.
position is powerful as hell.
The first scene that we see Josh Brolin's character in, he's a construction foreman, and he shows up at a house, and there's 3 giant triangles on the house. The way the roof is angled, it's like right there. So the last one, which is pretty obvious, is that in the title credits in a lot of the promotions for this film, the O in the word weapons has a triangle in the center of it.
So I noticed that I didn't I just figured it was like the 3 things of devil, because there's also the upside down triangle and the 6 on the bell.
Sure, and the triangle itself is a shape that shows up in a lot of occult practices.
It
Hereditary.
3 women. I forget the folklore, but yeah,
there's a lot of it. That goes very deep. Hereditary has it throughout the movie. The triangle shows up.
You had to take a month off after that one.
Yeah.
So okay, that makes a lot of sense actually, because I was really wondering what I love about this movie. Again, she's not hallucinating everything, and there's still that devil stuff, but after Hereditary, it's kind of a breath of fresh air.
Before we move on, that shape that the kids and Marcus make with their hands, kind of behind them as they run, that reminded me of something called the Naruto run. So it's probably how you would best describe how their posture is. Weirdly enough, that's one of the things that got the Area 51 raid to get so much traction during the COVID-19 lockdown. You remember that?
Yeah.
When everybody was like, we're going to storm Area 51. So the dude, there's a documentary about it on Netflix. Check it out. It's funny as hell. But the dude that sort of started that whole Facebook page and that movement that got so much traction, at one point,
he's like, I'm in over my head.
He was way in over his head, but before he realized that, he was kind of just still fucking around, because he was like, some dude literally in his parents' basement, and he's like, oh, let's storm Area 51. And so many people started liking it and talking about it to sort of shut it down. He thought he was making a joke, but he was like, let's Naruto run towards the gates of Area 51.
That would shut it down.
No, that gave it so much more energy. People started making fun of it.
More power than ever.
Right, because
whatever became of that? I remember the hype.
So the Naruto run is, I'm not an anime person, but it's something that is in
they run with their arm. I know the Naruto run.
Right, so that's what he was referencing, and that's what made the whole thing take off, and what I kind of associated the run with in weapons. But basically, the Area 51 thing, it turned into a whole fucking thing where they got a Vegas promoter to come in to sort of handle the event, because it was going to be a big music festival, and they got people, this woman who had a hotel closest to the Area 51 gates, they got in business with her. Then they ripped her off, and she was in hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then
I was hoping she would get something.
They had an event in Vegas that was huge because they had a Vegas promoter.
Yeah, and they had all the...
And then they had the woman who still did her thing, her little grassroots fake Burning Man thing in the desert near Area 51.
Ah, jeez.
I don't know. Check it out. It's
I know
weird
they ran at it, but...
Somehow weapons is tied into that. I don't know how we got there.
You're not wrong. I think, and I'm pretty positive, the running position is based off of...
You're going to counter
I'm going to counter you, John. I'm like, John, I appreciate that because I love anime. And
stupid.
I want that. I love it. I wish it was that. Trust me. But unfortunately, it's much more tragic. It's based on the Napalm Girl.
God damn it.
You know that... I know, God damn it. I know. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It is not fun anime. It is based on the girl running away covered in napalm, and how she spreads her arms because she's covered in napalm. Anyway, it was during the Vietnam War, and it actually speaks to the subliminal power of advertisement. Because when we started seeing those images of the silhouettes of kids around town, I tell you, there's a reason we all reacted to it, because that image...
Oh, for this movie?
Yeah, because they had the silhouette, and it was in the same image, the same stance. And even if we're it's got to be Area 51, there's a part of us that's We know that photo, and it's imprinted on us.
So not directly related to that, but another couple of Easter eggs that I wanted to bring up was, okay, so back to the kids leaving their homes at 2:17 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then like when Josh Brolin's character has his dream and he sees the machine gun with like the 217 on it, I was like, what's the significance of that?
It's ridiculous.
It's so obvious. It's like there's 17 kids went missing and only 2 remained in the classroom, the kid and the teacher.
So there's a lot to it. So
there's
here's
more?
one for you. There's a lot of theories. There's
billions.
one that
you almost said
billions and billions and billions,
yeah.
just to reference what we're kind of talking about. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But so the director, just for you, John, I swear he said this for you. It's a nod to The Shining because
213.
The room 237.
Oh, 237.
Yeah, but in the book it was 217.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not, John.
God damn it.
No, I'm not, John.
Everything goes, I don't care. Like if you listen back to our first episodes, literally every movie it has a Shining nod.
Let me give you also a quote from him about The Shining when they're asked, did The Shining influence this movie? He goes, "It's the first Steadicam movie ever. Steadicam was first used in The Shining. That perspective, that loyal perspective, the hyper-subjectivity, it's so thrilling. I steal directly from The Shining in this movie. I'm not even ashamed. It's obvious. It's a great movie, and it's the first that made me feel deeply in love with horror." And he said it exactly like that.
I believe you. Another fun Easter egg is that Matthew, Josh Brolin's kid in the movie, he went missing. He has a Mad Max Fury Road poster in his bedroom wall. That's not related to The Shining at all, but I got to mention it because
Mad Max rule. Yeah.
Come on, Mad Max rules.
There's
go.
like a movie too.
Can this guy please make a Mad Max movie? That's like fuck Resident Evil.
You've been pushing that just as hard as like The Shining references.
So much, dude.
I mean, honestly.
But to circle back to The Shining, it pops its head up again when Alex's possessed parents try to attack him and kill him. They rush him in the hallway and he hides in the bathroom. They literally take the axe through the door with, here's Johnny thing.
Subtle,
They bust through the door. They shove their face through the crack in the door, screaming at him. Like, again, a straight take.
No, that one's not even. They did like the straight take, and then it is cool where she comes through the door and looks down at him. Like, it's a cool little. It's kind of fun that it's just
the substance does that too with the like looking up.
I mean, I think it's like if you want to participate in this renaissance, you have to at least do one nod to like somebody in the bathroom.
Okay, so one of the most there's a lot of violence in this movie, and it does get you. But the fruit peeler on the face moment.
Wait. Actually, I want to go back to the other theories of the 217 significance. I didn't even go into that.
Oh, you weren't. Oh, my God.
We got distracted with the fact that we got distracted with The Shining.
That's fair.
But yeah, so it's 237 in the movie.
And 217 in the book. Got it.
Let me go back to why this movie, the number 217, is significant. In July 2022, the American House of Representatives voted in favor of new firearm restrictions. The result was 217 for, 213 against. So that basically means it was whether or not regular people should be able to buy assault weapons.
Like AR-15s.
Like for war zone kids.
Sure.
Yeah. Not the kind of thing you like hunt a deer or defend, even against like a handful of lunatics.
Right.
And the argument is always like to defend against the government. I mean, if you're literally in the situation where the government's rolling on you, they're going to send a drone that looks like a bee. It's going to impregnate your wife and kill you before you even get the fucking ammo for your AR, blah, blah, blah.
AR-15.
Yeah, Jesus
Standard
Christ.
issue military.
And they'll definitely that drone will kill the dog if fucking Christine Gnome's at the helm.
All right,
but
so
I digress.
217 voted in favor.
Yeah, so 217 members voted to keep AR-15s at Chuck E. Cheese, and the Democrats dragged the bill all the way to the fucking House, and the Senate just refused to act. So the fact that that's 217 about assault weapons, while an assault weapon is spinning above the house.
How the hell did you find that,
dude? I looked up like Bible 217. You know, like it started somewhere and it like led to that, and it made perfect fucking sense.
All right, so that's a tie-in, but
it's gotta be.
What the hell, man?
But he said he didn't want to because I think it's just him like playing it safe because the discourse won't do it any favors at this point. But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Napalm Girl, school shootings. Let's keep going. Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, I can't add to that. I feel like you might be on some Alex Jones InfoWars.
Well, let me keep going
because you got more. Yeah. I knew you have more.
Yeah. So like, let me just talk about then the fucking themes. Like, so this fucking movie the whole movie is grief as structure. So the director, he wrote Weapons while he was mourning his friend Trevor Moore. And they're co-creators of The Whitest Kids You Know.
Yep.
And he died from an alcohol-related accident falling over an edge.
Okay.
And so each one of the chapters in this movie is based on the Kubler-Ross stages of grief. And so to break it down, we have denial. That's Justine. She's in denial.
Okay.
We have anger. That's Archer. He's pissed the fuck off.
Sure.
We have depression. James and Paul. Alcoholic drugs.
Okay.
Acceptance. Marcus, the principal. When he's talking to her at the very beginning and she's like, I need to talk to Alex. And he's like, this is bigger than you. This is the beginning stage of denial, literally confronting the ending stage of acceptance.
Okay.
Trying to talk to her. And so basically what this whole movie is just trying to...
Okay, well, you're slipping up. What about Alex and Gladys, their chapter?
So I'll get there. Don't worry. I got it. I got all of this. But the point is, like, it's just showing that grief doesn't end. It mutates. And I think what he's kind of saying is that, like, consumption, routine, and the corporate culture keep grief alive in kind of this disguised form. And I'm going to keep going here. But if you notice, like, each one of these, they have their vices,
Sure.
Every adult is kind of hollowed out by their vice: alcohol, adultery, drugs.
Right.
And with Marcus, it's like food, Even though they're private weaknesses, they're like symptoms of a community, quote unquote, sick with consumption.
Mm-hmm.
So even when the characters glimpse the truth, like when the drug addict James sees all the kids, he doesn't act like until there's like money in play. He has to like play out his compulsive acts. And then Archer is interesting because he's nearly consumed by his anger and regret of like not saying I love you to his kid, but he pulls back and he kind of like forgoes the external actions of grieving because of obviously that guy running up to him. But it kind of shows you like he almost like, he painted on her car. That kind of could be a metaphor seen as like talking shit on social media. But like he went there, but he almost started to externalize. He almost lost his wife. All of this stuff could have happened, but he managed to like get to the end of acceptance of what happened.
Okay, so yeah, I can follow the track of thought of like
you can
the director like is writing a larger metaphor for
I
grief
think it's like a sweeping. Yeah.
Or did he just like set out to write a really cool mystery thriller? Like what
he said he did that, but he even says it was about grief about his friend Trevor. But yeah, so like consumption becomes a language of grief. People metabolize pain through substance, routine, and habits, and can lash out, and they end up losing more during the ruptures, created while they're grieving. And I think that's kind of what he's speaking to here.
I got you.
There's a much larger level here applied though, which I think not even given the gun shootings, but it's about like Americana and consumerism. And I think that's why Stephen King like puts so many things in small towns.
Or why his work has infiltrated literally every movie and book and show and everything.
It's universal, or it's at least nationalized. And I think he's honing in on that Stephen King influence of like,
well, the same things that were happening and taking shape in America's society and corporate culture and whatever were really on the rise when Stephen King was becoming popular in the late 70s and early 80s especially. And that we're seeing like the manifestation of that where like, you know, today's generation of creators they can't help but be influenced by Stephen King, who was already writing about that stuff.
And I think what he's doing here is he's like bringing that to the surface, like making me think of like, remember the line when she says, "I drink out of a bowl. I don't even apologize now."
It's one of my things.
Well, she's like looking like a clown. Like it's talking to us as a society, being like, "That's absurd. That doesn't make sense." But we just accept it.
We just do it, right?
And like, so if you notice, there's a lot of Campbell's soup, right?
Yeah.
So
how much more American can you get?
That's a direct Warhol reference.
Yeah.
You know, as Campbell's soup thing. And it's about corporate oversaturation and reputation. So we see Alex feeding soup to his zombified parents, which quite literalizes this whole thing.
And schoolmates, yeah.
Yeah, the consumer ritual. And so the tragedy being like the burden is on the kid and they don't know any other option than like feed that. So, you know, even in like the beginning when Marcus tries to comfort the kid, it focuses on a Coke can. They eat too many hot dogs. They're wearing Disney shirts. It's all it's all shorthand for like how corporate products colonize grief, and it basically becomes a coping mechanism. And these vices don't just like numb the grief, but like it somehow perpetuates it.
Sure.
And these parasites, you know, American greed, all this crap, they feed on it, and that's what Gladys represents. She enters this like very peaceful household, and
it's the most fun household.
They're so sweet.
I was so bummed.
Yeah, they're so sweet. I mean, that's the thing. It's like that's why he can like kind of like lean on like it's alcoholism, but it's not. It's like it's a sweeping.
It's a bigger thing.
And like I'm almost done. Bear with me, folks. But but like
is he?
Yeah, I know. Like think about it. It's called weapons. The children are literally weaponized. You know, in Gladys' parasitic system, feeding, sustaining, sacrificing, and symbolically they were weaponized by society. You know, political pawns, neglected in favor of adult vices, or turned into vessels for generational trauma. I mean, that's what's happening here. I mean, Alex, the bullied survivor, he's like totally this. He both suffers the neglect and becomes the one who tries to like make things right. And I don't know. I mean, his situation's a little school shooting. You know, like Josh Brolin's son was a bully. He's Mr. Military guy.
Would Alex have been a school shooter in a different type of movie?
And he's the only survivor, you know, and it's like, but like at the same time,
all of his classmates are gone.
Exactly. But what we love about it ending with Alex's POV and the metaphor that I'm applying, I suppose, is that, you know, the child is a victim of the systematic abuse and this societal indifference, you know, and so, you know, that's why he goes for the only thing he can go for and access, which is his peers, tragically. It's a weird, I feel like a crazy man saying this.
So what about the black tree?
The black tree, I think, is actually a metaphor for America in the way that it it stands. I actually have thoughts on this. I actually have thoughts on that. I think it's a metaphor for like America, and like it roots itself in like branching out to the corruption.
Well, the black tree could be symbolic too of like, that's Gladys's drug. So like she's catering, she's doing stuff to that tree, like keeps her alive, and she puts her spells through the tree. That's basically like
we need
that's James's heroin and meth addiction. Like the black tree is the same as the heroin and meth, and like
she's like an extreme version. Like like that's what I mean. Like lowest version is like a crackhead, a cop addicted to power. Like but on the extreme version are these people who are like addicted to draining life sources around them, be it children, whatever, while presenting like the woman with the pearl earring.
Either children or that poor pawn shop owner that is like, I don't want your stolen iPad. James is trying, before he sees the poster of the kids. And
I will say, theories and, you know, philosophies aside, I do love the comedic relief. I love how he just like sees them in the jump scare in the TV. And he just continues about his day.
No, that's another fun moment when he's at the TV and he's looking through like their DVDs, and he's like, "Oh fuck, Willow."
Right. I looked up Willow, and I had no idea what that was.
Wait, hold on.
I had no idea.
You didn't know what Willow was until you
No.
looked into this movie?
No, I looked it up, and I literally
the
just
fantasy
moved.
film with Val Kilmer and
I
Robert
just
Davis?
moved on. Honestly, I had to research, my weirdness.
I mean, it's okay. So the speech you just gave is not weird at all. It checks out. It makes sense.
Thank you, John.
I fucking give my thumbs up. But the fact that you don't know or have never seen fucking Willow,
It really doesn't help my credibility. Yeah.
you're done. Yeah, you're done. Like that's it. I can't take anything else seriously.
Like he literally says, "Oh shit, Willow!" Like
You were
it's
like,
not
"What
even
is that?"
subtle. Yeah, I'm like reading into like a stain in the back, and the guy goes, "Willow," and like holds it up to the camera.
Can't even talk to you.
What
about
is it? But
It's a fantasy film from the 80s, in line with like when The Labyrinth
and
and
shit,
Legend came
yeah,
out. Like
yeah.
it's up there with like very well high financed fantasy films
Right.
from the 80s. Like
All right,
not your Conan of the Barbarian bullshit. Like they put
yeah.
money into Willow.
Conan the Barbarian was well financed.
No, well, no, that's what I mean. It's not that caliber.
No, I'll check it out. Yeah,
Oh,
consider
man.
myself checked. I can only have so many rants without seeing Willow. My God. But
Yeah. So first of all, Ron Howard directed it. It's
oh my God.
yeah, man. Like
What was the recent horror movie Ron Howard just did that like
Yeah, I think the scariest thing he ever did was probably How the Grinch Stole Christmas. No, you know what? He did the Da Vinci Code and like Angels and Demons and Inferno. He did that series, which is not scary, but it's like thriller-esque. He also,
yeah.
he did Solo, a Star Wars movie, which I think is one of the
out
better.
of his thing.
It's a little
What is
better
his
Star
thing
Wars
with
movie.
Arrested Development? Is he just the narrator?
No, I think that's his whole brainchild too. Yeah.
That's his brainchild?
Yeah.
Well, then I will love him for the rest of my life if that's the case.
Executive producer on Arrested Development, which basically means it was his.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guiding point.
I mean,
on
he
the whole thing.
delivers the narration
Yeah.
perfectly.
I don't know about you, but I think I'm ready to get into some grave matters. What do you think?
I think at that, it's time to head on into the next phase here.
Yeah, let's get into some grave matters. All right, so here on Bedlam Movie Night, we wrap everything up with a section called Grave Matters, where we play a couple of games and get into some categories. So first off, we play a riff on the game Fuck, Marry, Kill with Fight, Friend, or Spare. I would fight James, the crackhead. He annoyed me and pissed me off because, like, the cop was like, yo, do you have anything in your pockets? Pricked his hand on a used needle. And not only that, like, I know like, he was scared, but then he stabs the same cop with, like, multiple needles in the face.
So, like, yeah, that guy definitely deserves a good ass whooping.
I would friend the kid, Alex. I felt so bad for that kid. Like, having his whole world change without him, like, having anything to say about it.
He did his best, too.
I mean, he did what, like, he was charged with.
It reminded me of Home Alone a little bit when he's walking back with his Campbells.
Yeah, totally. Without the bags ripping.
Yeah, exactly.
I would spare the whole family. Like, they were super happy. They were, like, great with the kid. Like, even though you only saw the family as a thing for, like, maybe 30 seconds, I believed it. And I was like, that's cool. But then when they take it away, it was really powerful.
His was definitely better than what, Josh Brolin's family dynamics. The guy couldn't say "I love you" to his son.
I mean, he couldn't get like
shit.
he's like couldn't get out of bed. His wife was like
that was a poisonous family compared to
right.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you gotta spare them.
Yeah. What about yours?
I would fight the cop every time. I will fight the cop.
You'll fight a cop. Okay.
I will fight the cop every time. I mean, that guy deserved. Not that I can, but this is why fight is always no good for me. We have to assume I have like a weapon, so I can beat them.
So you can do something.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You could have a heroin needle.
Yes. Oh my God, I would have like a Donatello stick with like heroin needles on both ends. That's how I would fight him. And then I would friend Justine because I really think I would handle everything she handled in the exact same way, including
also like that character. That character not gonna do well in a small town. Like a single lady who's like number one, she has her own house. She has her own career. She's doing whatever she wants to do. Like, she's a great fit. It would thrive in a big city. In a small town.
They want to make her a witch. The minute she hits 40, it's like, yeah. And then I would spare Marcus and his husband. That Marcus, he's the phase of grief where we accept it. Like, sure, we eat a little bit of hot dogs, we watch Disney.
Literally kills the person closest to him.
Oh, and that scene. It's whoa. It goes the non-stop.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The sound design is
so. If I
brutal.
could have spared that whole situation, I would have loved that. Yeah.
So my favorite moment was Gladys getting chased. Like, there's a lot of quirky little comedic moments in the movie, but that finale is awesome. Again, you nailed it with the throwback to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but also I guess that's something that Zach Krieger did with Trevor, his deceased friend, because they were in that sketch comedy show together, The Whitest Kids You Know.
Yeah.
That run and screaming bit is something that showed up in a couple of their skits. So anyways, they
you
fleshed
can tell
out
she
that
like
idea.
really leans into that.
Yeah.
That moment was powerful. Like,
it was great.
You know how like in like movies like Django or whatever, like Last House on the Left, there's always that like very satisfying killing scene.
Right.
This had that, but like I swear I was like had all those emotions I had while watching like Django, like especially Django with like the music blaring.
Or Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, just that type of like revenge, pure satisfaction. But I swear to God, I was like almost choking up on tears because it like came with this like other subtle emotion.
Right.
And it was phenomenal.
The other favorite moment for me was when the police captain gave Paul a bunch of shit. When he was like, "Oh, it's your anniversary dinner," and he's like, "You calling me old?
Yeah.
Why would I be old?" I could just tell that like the captain probably hated the fact that his daughter was dating a cop.
Yeah,
and he was just like, "This what?"
He knew what a piece of shit that guy was.
Yeah, because he had been a cop.
Then he has to cover for his ass later.
He had to cover for his ass, but also like he's been that cop before. Like he knows that guy because he probably...
Yeah, he's like, this is the last thing I want for my daughter. Which is also a big commentary on the sweeping thing I'm talking about. Like, even within the corruption, there's like the corruption doesn't want the corruption for their own children, but they'll look the other way.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite moment?
Mine's actually when Marcus... My favorite is when, Justine's being interrogated by Josh Brolin, and you see Marcus running at her, and it's like so subtle. And again, I was so used to our Hereditary where I thought she was just going to hallucinate and get in the car and drive off and be like, "Oh my God, I'm fucked up." But it was so real and awesome. Yeah. I loved that.
Oh moment. It like infiltrates not only the character's moment, but your idea.
Yeah, and it also infiltrates like Josh Brolin's fathom of it. And also she like... I love how she goes like, "Fucking help me!" You know, there's like all these moments. I love how they like wake up and they go, "What the fuck?" Like over dreams, like all of that like realistic reaction to ridiculous situations. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So my question of the day is a little controversial and sensitive, but hear me out. If you were the cop and James, the crackhead, stabbed you in the face with his dirty heroin needles, would you have shot him? Because as soon as that happens, Paul like knocks him down and puts the shotgun in his face, and I was like, "Oh, that's it. He's killing this kid."
Right.
Like, I thought for sure that was going to happen, but it doesn't. But in my mind, I was like, I don't know. Would you be able to stop yourself if somebody stabbed you in the face with dirty heroin needles?
Yeah, what I like about it is like, perhaps he's showing like, empathy towards cops where it's like, the shit is fucked and scary, but like
that's what you signed up for.
You don't have to go there. Like, you can be scared, but
that's
you
also
can pump
what
it.
You signed up for. If you're like, I mean, I know there's a lot of like craziness about the police, and we've seen it on display in the public forum, but there are people who take the job who know what the job is.
Yeah,
they're like, I have to
live by the sword, die by the sword.
A little
type
bit,
of thing.
yeah.
But like, that's what I mean. Like, it's empathy for like, this shit is scary, but like, you can't be shooting this fucking guy. Like, if he shot him, like that's what I mean. He's kind of like showing like, and then unironically, the drug dealer and the cop end up in the same exact situation.
Right, they end up at the same.
They're the same.
They have the
like
same
it's the
ending.
same. They're basically the same, character. They just blend together.
Right.
Right.
Okay. All right. What's your question of the day? I'm willing to take that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good question, John. But I think that's like what he's trying to do. Like it supports my theory of like the sweeping commentary on like, here's this big bad cop. He's an
Are you really
adulterer.
that different?
He's an alcoholic, but like he's not just a killer.
Are you? But also, are you really that different than the things and the people that you swear to God you're nothing alike?
Exactly. So it's just intermingling it in a very real way. This movie is something.
Okay. All right.
So mine's also kind of funky because, like, given my theory of the grief, which is not theory, it's proven. But yeah, if you like were to relate to one of the chapters, which one do you relate to the most?
Like each one of them resonated with me in some way.
Yeah, they're all the stages of grief, and they all kind of represent a different branch of like the American identity.
So, okay, all right. Okay, Ken Burns.
And
when is your PBS special?
If I had an accent, it wouldn't sound so atrocious and pompous.
The one that comes to mind first is Archer, the dad.
Right.
Like
He's
I would
trying to control a situation.
Trying to control it, but also like in the moment in the police station when he's like, I haven't heard a report on this, and the captain's like, that's because they don't report to you.
What do you know that I don't know?
Yeah, he's also like, dude.
Yeah.
But the cop also sympathizes with him. He's like, look, dude, like if it were me, I would be doing the same shit. And I can't say because I don't have children, but I think I would be the type of parent that would be driven to that type of like insanity and annoying and like just following people and like okay, I'm gonna figure this out. Where he gets a map, a blueprint of the city, and he's like, this is it. This is happening. This is like
you might have a kid, John, and have to triangulate against the witch. Don't you never say never.
I mean, yeah,
but yeah, I get that. I could see you going like if you did have a kid, you would be full, yeah. And honestly. That's the other cool thing too is like he writes the shit on her car, but like, yeah, it's all good when you're anonymous.
Ends up helping her.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
but when
like,
it comes down to like actual
die.
Humanity interaction, they immediately get on the same team. It's kind of awesome.
Totally. All right.
Well, to that note, I have fucking Justine. Fucking Justine for the fucking all the way. I would be there.
I'm getting a bottle of vodka. And
I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to teach, and everyone's accusing me of killing 17 kids? This would be my life.
No, she's also the same character as Archer because she does her own detective work.
Yeah.
She parks out in front of the house, and even though she falls asleep and passes out, she's like scoping out what the fuck is going on.
She's trying her best, but she's fucking exhausted by all this grief. And I mean... Even though, like, sleeping with that guy, like, yeah, God forbid she would be like, I'm in a small town, I would like to get fucking laid of all this shit. Like, and the guy manipulated her. Yeah, I'm Justine. Team Justine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I relate to this actress quite a bit,
Yeah.
If you want to kill me, that type of thing.
Right. Well, I don't know. I think that does it for me with weapons.
That was a goddamn good time. I mean... Again, I haven't enjoyed a new, like, overly hyped, quote unquote, horror movie. Like,
it's been a while.
This one, I was fucking like crying, laughing. I mean, beautiful. I 100% support this movie.
Yeah, even though it's rumored he's going to do Resident Evil next or take on it, I'm like,
she would totally be the actress.
Fuck it, I'm into it. I'm going to go see it. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't
please,
add yours us. Yeah.
Yeah, please don't start doing just remakes and reboots and shit like that.
No, but what's the guy who's from Barbarian who had a cameo in this?
Justin Long. Yeah, he played the father of one of the kids.
I swear to God, Justin Long is his anchor. He'll keep him in that like indie. Because did you ever see Tusk?
I did. I was going to mention Tusk.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's our.
That was
anchor.
A Kevin Smith horror movie.
Fucking Mallrats guy.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, thanks for joining us on Bedlam Movie Nights, and I hope you will stay tuned.
And as always, keep your eyes on the skis.